Ну, что избегает, не секрет. Я уже видел там баталии в интернете, где он говорит, я лучше завершу карьеру, чем буду с ним драться. И я думаю на данный момент, что...
Я не вижу шансов у Топори.
То есть ты считаешь, что
Я
Арман
ему
нападает,
подарки
да?
тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется. С ударниками держит дистанцию хорошо, ногами лучше работает. И сейчас уже Арман слишком хорошо, он уже...
So it's realistically they go get in that cage. It's like Arman definitely has a chance. He definitely has a shot. In Ilia's mind, it's like, okay, Arman's
always feels phenomenal as you see in them rounds, lad. When I get people on the floor, they don't get up, lad. Smother people like Cam's against DDP the weekend. Once I get you down and I'm on top of you and I'm smothering them, you're not getting up, lad. I'm controlling you.
Islam Makhachev has stirred the lightweight division once again, just as fans began speculating on Ilia Topuria's next move. Islam turned the spotlight on Ilia Topuria, insisting the champion has avoided the division's most dangerous threat. Makhachev's latest comments leave little doubt about his view. He believes Topuria has been sidestepping Tsarukyan for some time, even pointing at online chatter where people claim the champion would rather walk away than share the cage with Arman. For Islam, the avoidance has become too obvious to ignore, especially as rankings show Tsarukyan standing firmly among the top contenders.
Я хотел задать вопрос Исламу. Считаешь ли ты Армана самым серьезным соперником для Ильи? И не кажется ли тебе, что Топурия избегает его?
Ну, что избегает, не секрет. Я уже видел там баталии в интернете, где он говорит, я лучше завершу карьеру, чем буду с ним драться. И я думаю на данный момент, что Арман набрал хорошие обороты, и это самый серьезный экзамен для чемпиона.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has also joined the conversation with a sharp analysis of why Tsarukyan is such a problem for Topuria. In Khabib's eyes, Arman fights smart at range, uses distance control, and now pairs that with far better kicks than before. He has improved steadily, building a style that punishes reckless entries. Khabib breaks the matchup down in clear terms, rating the contest heavily in Arman's favor. Size matters to him too. Tsarukyan stands taller by close to 10 centimeters, carries extra mass on fight night, and brings a grappling base few in the division can match.
Я не вижу шансов у Топори.
То есть ты считаешь, что
Я
Арман
ему
нападает,
подарки
да?
тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется. С ударниками держит дистанцию хорошо, ногами лучше работает. И сейчас уже Арман слишком хорошо. У него есть материал, который он может посмотреть и хорошо изучить. Если 3 боя назад, если он с ним дрался, может, он не так опасался. Но сейчас уже видно то, чего можно опасаться от Топурии. Я считаю, что в данный момент лучший боец в легком весе это Топурия.
Ты про Царукяна.
Да, я про Царукяна.
Wrestling, elbows on the ground, positional pressure, and the ability to ride an opponent until mistakes appear. These are the tools Khabib highlights. To him, Topuria has only met strikers. Names like Holloway and Oliveira never relied on heavy wrestling. Against a man who shoots, chains takedowns, and works from the top, the champion faces problems he has not yet solved.
За счет ММА стиля.
Но,
Это невольная борьба.
но будет проходить, да?
Арман может повалить, у него хорошие локти в партере. Очень хороший локти. Может бороться, разбаривать, спину забирать.
А вот в эту опасную дистанцию с Топурией просто не зайдет. То, что
Не зайдет, слишком уже есть бои, он уже может посмотреть, изучить. Я например, 80/20 я вижу победителем Армана. Я считаю, что его борьба, его прессинг, его говорить, это тоже надо учитывать. Он выше него почти на 10 сантиметров, если не ошибаюсь. И он больше него весом, и в день боя он будет больше него. И, конечно, борьба, она всегда рулила. Да, особенно когда такие бои бывают. Мы все знаем, какая борьба у Холлоуэя и какая борьба у...
The breakdown has fueled debate about matchmaking. Fans see Tsarukyan's resume and wonder why his shot keeps slipping further down the schedule. Media outlets play back the footage of Arman's recent wins, showing the pace, the strength, and the calm composure in scrambles. With Khabib giving the challenger an 80% edge, curiosity grows about whether the UFC will finally make the match or keep chasing bigger headlines. Sean O'Malley has also weighed in. The bantamweight star admits Tsarukyan is a serious threat, yet understands why Topuria might steer elsewhere. From Sean's angle, Ilia is already a huge draw. High-profile names like Islam, Justin Gaethje, or even Paddy Pimblett promise far more attention and bigger paydays than Arman can deliver right now. O'Malley reads it as business logic. When you hold the belt and have a superstar label, chasing risk against a lesser-known but highly dangerous contender may not be first on your list. Sean interprets Topuria's position as a mix of career planning and risk management, rather than pure fire.
Yeah, I think it's hard to picture anybody beating Ilia right now. It's hard to visualize anybody just being able to go in the octagon with Ilia Topuria and beat him. Just how dominant he's been. So it's realistically, they go get in that cage. It's like Arman definitely has a chance. He definitely has a shot. And in Ilia's mind, it's like, okay, Ilia's such a massive superstar right now. It's like, why fight Arman when you could fight Islam or, Gaethje's a bigger fight than Arman. I think Paddy's a bigger fight. So it just depends on where Ilia's head's at. Does he want to just go out there and, hey, I want the next best guy? I feel like he's kind of past that. He's kind of like, who's the biggest fight?
Paddy Pimblett, always eager to stoke rivalries, has spoken openly about sharpening his game for a future clash with Topuria. On his own channel, he outlines how his grappling feels unstoppable when the fight hits the mat. He draws comparisons to Khamzat Chimaev's control and highlights his own progress in striking. Timing, distance, and cleaner combos sit at the top of his checklist. While nothing is booked, Paddy makes it clear he wants to be ready for Topuria whenever the UFC pulls the trigger.
5 rounds in the bag there. My striking time doesn't feel there at the minute, to be honest. Last week my striking time felt good, and I've done 5 rounds with Luke, so it's just probably woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Obviously I've got to get that striking time better if I'm fighting El Chirizo. That's a lot what I'm going to work on, but my grappling always feels phenomenal. As you see in them rounds, lad, when I get people on the floor, they don't get up, lad. Smother people. Like Khamzat against DDP the weekend, once I get you down and I'm on top of you and I'm smothering them, you're not getting up, lad. I'm controlling you. I'm making you feel my weight and making you feel some shots at the same time. That's the thing, lad, when I get on top of someone, you're not getting up.
Demetrius Johnson, one of the sport's most respected champions, takes a firmer stance on merit. To him, Tsarukyan sits as the rightful #1 contender. Johnson laments the entertainment-driven side of matchmaking, where names and clicks often overtake rankings and performance. He argues that rewarding the biggest seller over the most deserving fighter erodes competition. From Demetrius's view, booking Pimblett or another star before Tsarukyan contradicts the logic of rankings and leaves real questions about fairness in title shots.
Now, technically, it should be Arman Tsarukyan because he is truly the #1 contender. But they basically forced this Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria engagement because there is beef between those guys. They have had some exchanges before outside of the octagon. But this is where I had this hot take recently this week, is that I said the UFC is not a sport. Like, they get to dictate what they want to push, the narrative of what the fans want to see, which that's not what a sport is dictated on. And it's funny because my dad and my wife, Destiny, were watching the fights, and like, what the fuck? It's like WWE all over again.
While reviewing the division's top names, Rogan highlighted Tsarukyan's speed, scrambling ability, and relentless pressure, saying the young contender has the right mix of wrestling, cardio, and composure to give any champion real problems. Rogan's take essentially frames Tsarukyan as the worst style matchup for Ilia Topuria right now. His reasoning is simple. Topuria thrives against strikers who give him room, but Tsarukyan closes distance, chains takedowns, and forces exchanges on the mat where Topuria has less proven dominance. Henry Cejudo delivers one of the harsher takes. The Olympic gold medalist and former 2-division UFC champion criticizes the entire situation, seeing a tilt towards spectacle. He argues the UFC risks favoring personalities over legitimate challengers. Cejudo warns that when a champion hints at avoiding a contender or threatens to vacate the belt rather than defend against him, it invites backlash. In his words, thinking you're bigger than the UFC shifts public opinion fast. He points at comments suggesting Ilia would rather drop the strap than fight Tsarukyan and calls that an unhealthy precedent.
Everybody and their damn mama, they want to see that fight. They don't want to see a fight with Paddy the Baddy, man. You know, and then Arman getting on the Nelk Boys podcast, and then he's saying that he'll never give Arman a chance, you know, for the belt. Like, he'll rather relinquish that. Like, The UFC one does not want to hear that, man. Like once you start thinking you're bigger than the UFC, start to become public enemy number one. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, even though you are a champion, you do have 2 belts.
As debate swirls, Tsarukyan quietly continues working, refining his entries, and posting training clips that show relentless pace. Analysts replay his win streak, focusing on the blend of wrestling pressure, improved hands, and composure in exchanges. Fans who have followed his rise argue that denying him a shot undermines merit. Others counter that the sport has always balanced performance with entertainment, and big names keep lights on. Makhachev's comments have amplified those arguments. Coming from the reigning lightweight king, the suggestion of ducking gains weight, supporters of Islam see it as defending competitive integrity, pushing for the most deserving challenger. Critics label it stirring drama, a way to nudge the spotlight while narratives shift around future fights.
I'll send Topuria back to top 15 pound for pound. For me, it's easier to fight Topuria than Oliveira.
Wait,
for my
I
style.
don't understand that though. I don't understand that, Arman. Like, how can you say that?
Because I like to take down people, you know. When you take down Charles Oliveira, he still can like choke you or some like do some mission.
You almost had
but
you. You almost had.
Yeah, but Topuria is gonna try to get up, and then you can like just go like 1,000 times to take him down because there is no problems on the ground.
Well, that Bryce Mitchell fight that you were speaking about, he won that fight by submission.
Maybe he's a good guy, but not the best fighter.
Meanwhile, Topuria carries his own momentum. Title defenses, highlight finishes, and social buzz make him a star across markets. From a promotional standpoint, matching him with Islam, Gaethje, or even Conor McGregor moves massive numbers. Facing Tsarukyan, while legitimate, may not pull the same eyes. Business and sport rarely run parallel, and Topuria stands in that tension every day.
Arman Tsarukyan is able to go in there and get the job done, but then guess what, Arman? You have made yourself a star already by some of these antics to build this fight up. And Ilia Topuria, as we know, is already a star. So he's going to continue to just be a bigger star if he's able to stop all these guys that are trolling.
Everybody and their damn mama, they want to see that fight. They don't want to see a fight with Paddy the Baddy, man. He's saying that he'll never give Arman a chance, you know, for the belt. Like, he'll rather relinquish that. The UFC one does not want to hear that, man. Once you start thinking you're bigger than the UFC, you start to become public enemy number one.
Media roundtables keep circling back to one core question: should the UFC prioritize rankings or revenue? On one side lies the clean logic of competition. The #1 contender fights the champion. On the other stands the reality of selling pay-per-views, rewarding charisma, and building crossover appeal. Tsarukyan, quiet but deadly, struggles to outshine those storylines. Yet analysts insist skill eventually forces opportunity. Performances stack until avoidance becomes impossible.
No, I can put the bets. I can put like a $500,000 if he beat me. If I beat him, he's gonna give me $500,000. So I can put it that.
Okay, so he's willing to make handshake bets.
If he wants to make that, so I'm down, and we can shake hand fight. If I lose, I'll give him $500,000. If I beat him, he's gonna give me $500,000.
Fans see parallels across history. Talented wrestlers often wait longer for big chances, while flashier strikers climb faster. Tsarukyan's steady march fits that pattern. The question now is timing. Will Ilia meet Arman before other super fights absorb the calendar, or will the bout fade behind larger marquee names?
Ilia Topuria made headlines this week. He said that he would relinquish the belt if he was forced to fight Arman Tsarukyan. I'm not saying that Ilia is ducking Arman Tsarukyan. I'm saying that Ilia is messing very strongly with Arman Tsarukyan.
Throughout podcasts and social streams, the tone varies. Some sympathize with Topuria's decisions, viewing him as protecting his status until the right mega fight lands. Others push back, claiming a champion owes the division clarity. Demetrius Johnson's voice joins that push, while O'Malley and others accept market logic. The divide shows how mixed the community feels about merit versus money. Cejudo's critique underscores another layer: the UFC's role. He fears too much focus on spectacle cheapens belts, turning lineage into storyline. By calling out both promotion and champion, he reminds fans that sport credibility needs defending, even when ticket sales tempt shortcuts. The tension sets up intriguing months ahead. If Tsarukyan continues winning, public pressure mounts. If Topuria takes a different fight and looks dominant, calls for a unification with Islam grow. Every scenario pivots on timing, fan demand, and whether the UFC values purity of matchmaking or spectacle. For now, Makhachev's words hang over the division, echoing through gyms and Twitter threads. Tsarukyan trains, Topuria surveys options, and fans debate what justice in rankings should mean. The only certainty is that lightweight remains stacked, unpredictable, and primed for drama.
Вот очень многие отмечают, что у Ильи очень отличная защита от тейкдаунов, и он умеет вставать, если там его перевели. А вот как ты считаешь, учитывая твой уровень борьбы, феноменальный, я бы сказал, уровень борьбы, смог бы ты продержать Топурию вот раунд на земле?
Однозначно, я думаю, что смог бы. Перевести точно перевел бы, но он такой маленький, короткий, ему таких, наоборот, тяжело удерживать. Да. Перевести перевел бы, но вот удержать 5 минут, не знаю. Даю, увидим. Ну, я люблю работать локтями, мне не нужно там все 5 минут держать его, если я попаду один раз хорошо локтем и
Drop your picks and thoughts below, and keep it locked to Ring Rivalry for every update on this growing storm inside the UFC lightweight division.